Hello, this is Alexander Cross, Criminal Defense here in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you'd like to learn more about criminal defense, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Law Offices of Cross & Associates, and feel free to ask questions in the comment section below so that we may respond in the future with more videos. So, we received an interesting inquiry here on our YouTube channel. This has to do with somebody who has an interesting question. Can a lawyer visit a person in jail at any time? Let's see here. I want an attorney to visit my son who is detained. They say it's for robbery. I have no legal documents from this country and I'm afraid to do the visit. Well, here's the thing. Well, first of all, let's talk about the robbery briefly. Robbery is a felony with a strike under Penal Code Section 212.5 that carries up to 6 years in state prison. If your son used a weapon, or even worse, a firearm, there would be some potential enhancements that would increase the punishment. Now, in terms of a jail visit, yes, it's best for an attorney to go do a jail visit rather than you, even if you had documents, even if you were legally here in the country. Let me explain why. If you go do a jail visit, what are you going to talk about? You can't talk about the case because those jail visits are recorded. You can talk about the trees, the flowers, and all that stuff, but you cannot talk about the case. Also, when your son calls you on the phone, don't talk about the case because that will be recorded. Every morning, the sheriff's office sends discs, sends CDs over the DA's office. The DA will study them, and then based off that, they now have additional evidence that they could use against your son. So, no. When an attorney goes to visit an inmate, they put us in a special room where it is illegal to record. Because remember, under attorney-client privilege, you can't record an inmate when they're speaking with their attorney. So in a situation like that, when I go do a jail visit, the first thing I do is obviously I try to get their version of the story, and I try to figure out what defenses they have. Then, of course, I want to make sure that they know their rights, their Miranda rights. They have the right to remain silent. Anything they say or do will be used against them in court. They have the right to an attorney, etc., etc. And then, of course, I remind them, please don't speak to anybody in person or on the phone. If your family or friends come to visit you, don't talk about the case. If you call your family or friends, don't talk about the case. Also, don't talk to the other inmates that are there because you don't know if they might have a proffer interview agreement with the DA's office. You don't know if they have an agreement where a DA has told them, hey, if you get information about so-and-so, we'll drop your case or we'll reduce your punishment. That happens all the time. But also, I want to know if the police or the detectives or anybody in law enforcement have already interviewed your son and what he has said to them. Because if he told them, oh yeah, it's true, I did it, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again, well, he just confessed to the crime, and what a private attorney can do at that point is extremely limited. I mean, at that point, it's a question of, well, can we do a 1368 evaluation to see if he's, not well mentally? Maybe he didn't appreciate the consequences of his actions, or didn't appreciate the consequences of confessing, or maybe the recordings could show that the police physically intimidated him and he was kind of sort of forced to confess. But barring those two relatively remote possibilities, in a situation where somebody does a complete confession, at that point you're basically begging the DA to be easy on the kid. So that's why it's really important for an attorney, a defense attorney, to get to the defendant as quickly as possible to make sure that he does not do anything to damage his case. Regardless, if you'd like to learn more about criminal defense here in the San Francisco Bay Area, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Law Offices of Cross & Associates, and feel free to ask questions in the comment section below so that we may respond in the future for more videos. And just for the record, I've interviewed people in jails at 4 in the morning. So yeah, attorneys can go visit people at whatever hour. They're not subject to the visiting hours. But if you've been accused of a crime and need representation in court here in the San Francisco Bay Area, call us now for a free consultation at 1-800-862-7677. Once again, 1-800-862-7677. On our next video, we're going to be discussing the case of somebody who wants to clean his DUI record. Criminal lawyer, criminal lawyers, DUI attorney, DUI attorneys, criminal attorney, criminal attorneys, DUI attorney, DUI attorneys.